Hello, everyone. I just spent the last 8 months here in Korea, and I wanted to do a quick and dirty video of my initial impressions since this is the first time that I'm actually living abroad and share my thoughts. Starting with the weather. Came here in late March, straight from Colorado, so the first thing that I immediately thought was, wow, the humidity is quite unbearable here. I thought I was used to it after living in Georgia for a year, but it's different here. Turns out I did a little bit of research. There are different types of rainforests, and we typically think of tropical rainforests. Korea is a temperate rainforest. So it gets as much rain as, places like Brazil or Indonesia, places that people typically think of as very rainy. But it doesn't get as hot. In fact, it gets cold. The winter is surprisingly cold, but it makes sense. Korea isn't that far from Siberia, but it is more bearable, in my opinion, because it is a lot more dry. When it comes to planning your trip to Korea, know that the summer is not the time to travel like it is for a lot of other countries, just because A, it's humid, but B, the monsoons mean that the rain is frequent and unpredictable to the point where a lot of organizations here in Korea plan around it. I wanted to join a hiking group, and I was surprised to find that they actually don't even make an attempt to plan things during the summer. Starting in the fall is when they start their activities, just because it's impossible to plan for the rain during the summer. Okay, so second impression is on the food here in Korea. Now, I am used to it just because I've had Korean food in America. It's currently the thing right now where it feels like everyone's like crazy into kimchi and Korean barbecue and Korean fried chicken. And it's funny seeing this evolution happen because I grew up in an area that had a high number of Korean American immigrants right outside of DC. And growing up in middle school and elementary school, the thought on Korean food was definitely like something to make fun of almost. Oh, kimchi, what is that? Oh, it's smelly. What are you eating, bro? And now kimchi is like the craze. But anyway, the food here, I thought I was used to it, but I was not. Korean food in Korea is very seafood based. It has a lot of ingredients that you're not used to, raw fish, fish eggs, urchin, things of that nature. It was very difficult to have some of the more traditional stuff. Off the top of my head, it's like chicken feet, Sundae. There's still some things that I haven't tried yet, like beondegi, which is boiled and fried silk larvae, and gaegogi, which is dog meat. I believe they're starting to ban it in many parts of Korea, but it's still sold in some parts, I believe. I haven't had any of that, but in general, I've really found success with trying everything once. I haven't liked everything, but I've liked more than I thought. And things like sundae and fish cake, things that I didn't like when I first got here, after a few months, I sort of started to be okay with it. And then recently, I've started to crave some of it. So I know acquired taste is a thing. I just didn't realize how important it was. I didn't realize how important familiarity was in regards to preference. But overall, food, 10 out of 10. The most surprising thing about South Korea, however, is the fact that the South Koreans don't really think about North Korea. The North Koreans, they're still very much focused on the South. Their propaganda reflects it. Militarily, they're always prepared for an invasion from the outside world. But the South, quite frankly, has moved on. You go to Seoul, for example, right? And it's a modern, vibrant city. It's got technology that, quite frankly, is probably one of the best in the world. South Korean cultural exports include K-pop, movies like Parasite, and Train to Busan. South Koreans love to travel, and their food is becoming internationally renowned. And they've just, quite frankly, moved on. And I saw this most recently when I went over to the border, where the older generation still had people that they knew in North Korea that got split when the armistice happened. They knew people who died during the war, and reunification was very important to them. For the younger generation, however, it really wasn't something that they thought about on a day-to-day basis. Nuclear threats from North Korea have been going on their entire life, and it's sort of the boy who cried wolf effect, where they just tune it out now. And practically, there hasn't been a conflict on the peninsula in the last 7 decades. So for the average South Korean, they have better things to worry about than North Korea, which to them, the only way I can describe it is how we sort of view, the destruction of the environment. It's like a conceptual problem. It affects us, but we don't really think about it on a day-to-day basis, and it's something that happens somewhere else. So on that topic, I wanted to finish off this video by sharing the story of a North Korean defector whose lecture that I attended this week. So her name was Yuna. She was the daughter of a North Korean general. And when she was young, a friend said to her, "Hey, do you want to watch this South Korean drama?" And she's very instilled in North Korean propaganda, so her first reaction is rage. How could you watch the drama of our sworn enemy? Then she starts to panic. Oh my God, if I report my friend like I'm supposed to, her whole family's going to be executed. So while she's freaking out, her friend just is laughing. And she sort of says, I can't really explain it. It's not something that can be explained. You just have to see it for yourself. You don't have to watch the drama, just watch one episode. So Yuna agrees. And just like that, she realizes that her whole world is a lie, that there's a world outside of North Korea, and this one DVD of a South Korean drama causes her to escape across the Tumen River months later and escape eventually to South Korea. And the reason I bring up that story is I guess no one in South Korea is really thinking about North Korea. It's something that's distant, especially since South Korea is a modern, vibrant nation that's moved past the war. But North Korea is never far, and it wouldn't surprise me if within my lifetime something were to happen and North Korea ends up joining the South in a future that may not be as distant as one would think. And that's pretty much to finish off. That's my impressions of South Korea. And I hope to do an update in a couple of months to see how my thoughts change about a country that overall has been the experience of a lifetime.